Coach Craig here. For a couple of decades, I've been building technology infrastructure, and I help entrepreneurs who feel boxed in by the systems that they have created to find a path out of that. And one of the things that I talk about a lot is energy architecture. And I've written a course called Campfires and Vampires, where campfires are the things that energize you and vampires are the things that suck your energy away. And so the key here is that sometimes we have a mismatch between the cycles, the natural energy cycles that exist within our lives and the activities that we're engaging in. So when I think about my own life, I tend to be on a 3-day cycle. And so I will take 3 days of, for example, health and wealth. So I'll just do like the operations to get all of those things rolling for 3 days, to tie up loose ends, to make sure that I'm reducing cognitive load and all of that. And then I take a drift day. And that drift day is the day when I'm just literally just letting it go. It doesn't mean it's an unintentional day. It's still fully scheduled, but it isn't about building. It isn't about creating. It isn't about like tying up loose ends and all of that. What it's about is reoxygenating myself for the next 3 days. And so my cycle is sort of 3 days health and wealth, 1 day of drift. 3 days health and wealth, 1 day drift. And then I typically every 2 cycles, maybe 3, maybe 4 even, depending on when my spidey sense tingles, I will go into intense focus. I cut everything out. I go into a novel environment and I just build. And I will do 16-hour days of just working on that one thing, obsessed. I am compulsed to do that when the builder energy builds up. It's like a rubber band and I need to snap it back, right? And that can be something that's kind of been kicking around in my head about a feature of something that I need to improve. It might be a new app I want to build. It might be anything, right? But whatever it is, it's that builder energy that builds up, and there's a point where I'm like, okay, I gotta let this go. Boom. And it's like 3 days of just going all in. And by the end of the 3rd day, I am cooked and it feels good. I actually like that. Many people don't. That's my cycle. You need to find your cycle. And then I do a drift day, and then I'm back into the rhythm, back in, health and wealth, drift, health and wealth, drift, right? And so that cycle is what I've learned energizes me. That's how my energy expends itself, right? And whether it's entirely through my own thought processes or it's my biology, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really care. All I know is that's my rhythm. What happens that is really problematic for entrepreneurs who have built up these systems to be able to sustain themselves in their business is there's a discrepancy between what their natural energy cycle is and the behavior that they're engaging in. If, for example, let's just take my cycle for a moment and imagine that every single day I needed to fulfill orders. And I had to do that relentlessly. It wouldn't work for me. So what I have to do is I would have to figure out how to integrate that into what my natural energy cycle is. And to integrate that, what that might look like, I'm just spitballing here. Okay, so 3 days, health and wealth. Let's say that on those 3 days, I'm fulfilling orders, I'm doing the things that need to get done, and then on my drift day, I delegate that to somebody else. And that might be a perfect day for me to just sit back and observe someone doing the work, right? Where it doesn't take a lot of energy and you're just sort of correcting and guiding and things like that, right? And then I go back into, 3 days of fulfilling orders. And then on my drift day, I delegate and observe and make sure that everything is getting done correctly. And as I do that, then it might end up that there's a point where I just don't even have to observe. And then that frees up potentially even more energy, where I would be able to say, okay, you're going to do a full 3 days, right? And then on the drift day, we get together and I observe, right? Who knows? But I'm just sort of saying that would align with my natural compulsions. And then on my focus days, when I'm all in, no interruptions, lock myself in a cabin and just build, on those days, that's when I would have to have that support system completely supporting me. So it was a completely self-managing situation. And for me, like for my Airbnb business, I have a lot of automation, but there's still a lot that I could improve. And it does drain my energy. So I have to be very careful, because on those days when I want to completely focus, I need to make sure that I don't have any check-ins or check-outs, because it does take energy. Anyway, I'm just advocating that you align the energy that your natural cycle produces, or how you produce energy, and the behavior that you engage in. And that ends up making this boxed in feeling where you're just like, oh my God, I can't get out of this. Like, I feel so boxed in. I want out of that sensation of being boxed in, and I may as well just burn it down. Like, there's a point at which you get to and you're just like, I'm done. If you're at that point, I hear you, I feel you, and you can schedule a one-on-one with me, 15 minutes, just see if we're a fit. Look in the channel description, the link there for Calendly is there. I may be able to help. Coach Craig out.